Hello everybody, welcome. It's your boy Yason here once again. So today I came with this brand new project, this brand new tutorial for you guys. We are going to design this template. It is a music streaming website and it is a real world website. Actually, it is a real world application. So we are going to start designing this music template from scratch, and we are going to use technologies like HTML, CSS for the designing and some interaction, just a little bit like for the navigation bar in JavaScript. So without further ado, let's get started and see the demo of our project. So as you can see, this is our main page for the project. This is our home page. So as you can see, we have a nice banner here which says Explore South Sudan Musics, and here you can get the search bar. This is a search bar where you can type this. You can type in there like the title of the song, then you click on search, then it will search for you there whatever there's the songs you typed in the input. But currently this functionality is not working because I didn't implement it, so it is just only like static. It is just the designing part of the website, but in the future I'm gonna make sure to make it functional, and we are going to add some backend technology on it in order for us to get the interactive of the website and getting steps from database and all those. So this is the designing part. As you can see, if I scroll down, you can see something very nice here. We have the recommended musics for us. We have here 3 musics, but you can put a lot of musics you want, and it is just an image with the whatever, with the logo of our website. So here we have this get Spotify musics. This one here you can stream Spotify musics, and here in the right side I have my logo, and it's actually a transparent logo. I've removed the background. So again, here downward you can see all the trending musics, and here I just put also these are actually static musics, so like I just put them static there. And you can see there's some links here that can navigate you to whatever genres you want to see, and it is our footer here. So here you can see in the nav bar we have 3 tabs, which is the home, all musics, and dashboard. When I click on our all musics, then here to get for us all our musics, and as you can see the music genre, if it is a hip-hop musics, we have hip-hop musics here. If it is Afrobeats, we have Afrobeats also here, and then if it is reggae, we have reggae here. And in this video I only used 3 images, so as you can see I'm just reusing this image, this one image here. So it is just only to give you the picture, the designing part of the website, but you can change it with any image you want. So let's click on any music here. When we click on this one, you can see it is taking us somewhere in a playing page, like where you can play the musics. Currently my icons are not loaded. I have some icons here where you can click the music. You click on it, and then there's next and previous. So, and it is actually amazing. It is actually for if you really wanted to learn designing in HTML, you wanted to start building your own website, this video is for you. Just watch till the end. And then if we come to the dashboard and click on our dashboard, so here we go, we have our dashboard here, and as you can see this is just an overview of our dashboard. I just make it like this, it is not something real, but this is just to give you the bigger picture of what it is, what dashboard looks like. So here as you can see in our account overview, we have like some followers here. I just hard coded these ones also. All these are hard coded, so as I told you, this is just a designing part, and for backend stuffs and all server side stuffs, this is not time for it. but we're gonna see that in the future. So as you can see here, I say followers and 120k, 123k followers, and then music uploaded. The songs are 12, total number of views is here, and then albums, then amount the guy made in that whatever. So here we have our profile where you can see our name is here, and then our email is also here. And here when you see this is the media uploads, when you click on overview, this is actually where it is. But when I come here and click on upload track, then it will give me the tab for uploading tracks. Here you can see you can upload the track, the music here, whereby you just click on it and then you click, then it will open for you the file where you can browse your whatever, your music anywhere here. Then you get it and put it here. Then the music description, you have the music title, the genre of the music, if it is a hip-hop, R&B, dance, dancehall, or what, yeah, reggae, you just put it there. The music type, you choose the music type, if it is new music, featured music, or existing music, you choose everything there. And then the thumbnail also, when you click on the thumbnail, then you come here and then choose for the thumbnail you want to put there, then boom, everything will be there. I saw some external music links. If you have some external music links from YouTube or Spotify, you just put them here also. And then when I come to my profile, and then here is my profile, I can be able to update my profile, like enter my profile name and all those stuffs here. Actually, this is just a designing part, and then you click the button here to update your profile. So in my music tab, when I click on my music, then you see my profile and my musics, all my contents here, the one I've created or the one I've uploaded. So you can see all my music here. My musics are here, and my picture, my profile picture is here. I have my musics and my followers here. My name is here, and if you want to follow me also, you click on this one to follow. So this is actually an amazing project for every beginner who wanted to start designing in HTML, CSS. If you really wanted to start building real world website, start building something for yourself and some for businesses, this video is for you. Just let's get it started on. You stick around with me, watch till the end, and watch how we are actually implementing such kind of thing. So without further ado, let's get it started and open our VS Code. So this is our VS Code. I've created a folder, empty folder here. As you can see, currently our folder is empty. I'll just drag and drop it in a VS Code. So here I've created this folder called music, and it is actually empty. So here I'm going to create some files here. The first thing I'm going to call it as index.js. Oops, not index.js, I'm sorry. This index.html. Let me just edit this one. Let me rename it. Index.html. Alright, then from there I want to create a file called style.css. So these are the two we want in this, and we are going to add the rest in the future, like when we are going and developing our project, then we are going to create it on the go. For some reasons it is taking long, like to create the files. Let me just cancel here. So here it is created already. As you can see, I have empty HTML file and empty CSS file. So first thing, we are going to start with our HTML. So guys, before we start doing anything, be so happy and very happy if you really appreciate my effort on creating such kind of content. If you just give me a like, share my videos, and if you didn't subscribe, just subscribe and make sure to click the bell icon to get notified on every content I'm releasing out there. So let's get it started. That one really helps a lot. So let's get it started. I'm going to give the title as music. So we have to first link our CSS. So here we linked our CSS already. And then our structure. If you come to our structure here, let me first come to my first page, which is the index, our index page here. So this is our index. So here we are going to start with our navigation bar. So let's start from there. I'm gonna give you the class of nav. Go with the class of logo, and then in this logo I'm going to give it explore, and then inside the logo I'm gonna say span, and then the span is going to take the music. In the span I'm going to give it some styling, some inline style. So I want to give it a font size, and then the font size is going to be of 10 pixels. Alright, so give it some font weight. I'm going to give it font weight of bold. Let me give it in numbers. Let me give it 200, something tiny. So I want to take all our whatever, the text decoration. I want to give it like text decoration to none. Why we are putting text decoration to none? Because here in our logo we are going to have a text decoration of line through in this logo, so we are going to put that one. So we don't want it to affect we don't want it to affect our span. That's why we are giving the span the text decoration of none. Right. So I want to call the class of container. I'll give it the class of container, this article, and then inside this article I want to render the UI, UL and LI is here. So I'm gonna multiply it just by 4, no, by 3. So inside each LI I have a tag. So the first one is going to our home page, which is index, and then I'm gonna say home. Just copy. Let me just copy this one. 1, 2, 3, like that. All right. Delete this off, and then delete this one off. So here we have all musics, and then here we have dashboard. So I'm just going to leave them like this, default, just like this, but we are going to manipulate everything when we start creating our dashboard page and then our index page. All right, after this article, I want my button. I'm going to give it a class of button, and then let me just give it text of menu, and then let me apply the class. And then I'm gonna give it a class of toggle hyphen btn, like this. So here our navigation bar is done. So let's get into our styling and do some styles to our nav. The first thing, we have to target the universal operator and give it some margin and padding to 0, margin to 0. Oops. Give it some padding to 0 also. Then I'm gonna give it a box sizing or border box, and then I'm gonna give it some font family. So the font family I'm going to use, it is from Google, but okay, before we do that, let me just give it this one. So this font family, we're going to use it instead the one of Nunito from Google. So let's target our body. Give it some background color, and then I'm gonna give it a background color of black. Then from there, I have to start styling my navigation, CSS. Remember, we have a class of nav in our navigation, so we're going to target that class of nav. Give it a display of flex. Give it a justify content of space between. Give it an alignment to center. And then I'm going to give it a position of relative. So from there, we want to give it some color. So the color I'm going to give is black color. Black, like this. I want to give it some padding, and then the padding is going to be of 10 pixels. Background color, the background color is going to be of white. After the navigation bar, we want to take a class of, we want to target this container. So for the container, I'm going to give it a width. Let me target container and give it a width of 40. After that, I want to get the container and then the UL tags inside the container. Then give it a display of flex. Then justify content. I want to justify content to be space between align items to center, and then z index, we are going to give it a z index of 999. So this is for our UL tag. So in the UL tag, we want to get the LIs or the list element. Alright, so for us to do that, let me just get the UL, and then the UL want to get the LIs like that. So then I'm going to take all the list styles out, all the dots to be none, and then I want to give it some padding. So the padding is going to be from top of 0 left and right to be 20 pixels. And just take this one down. Then I'm going to give a hover effect to these ones. When you hover it, I want to give it a background color. So the background color I'm using is this color called DDDD. And then 7-1. So this is the color code I'm using, and I'm going to target all the A tags, give it a font size of 20 pixels, and then I'm gonna give it a text decoration of none to take all the underlines out, and then I'm gonna give it a text transform of capitalize. Alright, and then I'm going to give it a color. So I'm going to use a color code, a color from RGB, and then the color is going to be 126, 112, and then 112 again. So this is the color I'm using. After the attack, remember we have the class of button called toggle. That's btn. We want to give it a display of none in a big screen. We don't want it to show in our big screen. Then from there, I want to target the class of logo. Remember we have logo. So in our logo, we want to give it some font size and then some colors. Let me first give it a font size. And then I'm going to give it a big font size of 40 pixels. Then I'm going to give it a color of black, but I'm using a color code which is 0C 0B0B. So it is kind of black color. So after this color code, want to give it a text transform, want to transform it to be uppercase. Text transform to be uppercase. Font weight of bolder, and text decoration to be underlined. Text transform text decoration of line through, because we want the line to pass through our logo. Then I'll give it a padding. The padding is going to be from top and bottom to be 0, and then left and right of 20 pixels. So if I save the file, and then let's open our HTML file in the browser. So it is here, and as you can see, we have our design. It is kind of the same. Yeah. So this is the first part of our designing. So let's go and design this music sheet, this one, this banner here. And as you can see, I have a mistake. I put a dot here, but the dot's supposed to be here. Okay. Instead of putting the dot here, I'm going to put it here. And we don't want this space. Let it be like this here. Yeah, this is what we want. So let's go to the next. In our HTML, under this one, let me give a comment here so that we know what we are doing. This is navigation section, like this. If I can spell section here, and then from there I want to call this one content header. So in our content header, what we want is a section with the class of content header. That's the first thing we have to do. So inside this content header, we want a paragraph, but I'm going to put article, and then I want to give it a class name of title. So inside the title, I'm going to give a paragraph with a class name of subtitle. Like that. And then I'm going to say explore. Then out of this paragraph, I'm going to say South Sudanese. Explore South Sudanese music. This is what I want. Alright. So after this paragraph, I'm going to declare an article with the class of search container. That's container. That contains our search. That contains our search input. So here I'm going to give an input. Then the input is going to have a placeholder. The placeholder is going to say song. Alright. And then I want to give it a class name. I'm going to give it a class name, and then the class name is going to say search. That's input, like that. Remember, inputs are self-closing tags, so we have to close it there. So I'm going to call button, and then give it a class of button search. You can give it whatever class name you want to give. So mine, I just want to keep things like to be kind of the same, that's why I'm using that. So if I save the file and then come to our browser, so you can see actually it's something kind of weird, but anyways, you got the point. And our text is not showing, but they're there. All right, so let's come back to our CSS and then apply our designing part. I'm going to say content header. The first thing is to make a comment, content header CSS. All right, so I want to target the class of content header. Want to give it a background image. So I'll have to put a background image. So let me get my image file here. So I have this image, I have 3 images here. I'm going to copy them from here, and then I come here, then just paste them here. So here I have 3 images. These are the only 3 images I'm going to use here. So but you can add a lot of images and reuse them and use them actually in your website. So this is the only 3 images I'm going to use. So to use that one, I'm going to say actually it is in the same folder, and then image, then the image you want to use is this first image. So this is the image you want to use, and then we give it the background position. That's the first thing. We want to give it a background for the position of center, and then background size and background repeat. So let's type that quick. Background repeat of no repeat, then background size of cover. After that, I'm going to give it a width and height. So I'm going to give it a width of 100%. Then I'm going to give it a height of 50 viewport height. Alright. After that, I'm going to display everything to be flex. Then I'm going to align everything to the center. After aligning it to the center, I'm going to justify all the contents also to be in the center. Then lastly, we are going to give it a flex direction of column. So if I save this file, come to our browser, you see everything is now in the center, and then our image is also here. So this is what we want actually. So let's now let's make a design for our search container, give it some styling, and then we proceed. I'm going to give a class of search container. Remember, we have this search container in our HTML. And then in the search container, I'm going to give it a background first thing. The background color, I'm going to give it the background color of white. So this is the color code for white background color, but you can add the Fs to be 6. And then I'm going to give it a padding. The padding is going to be in every side of 5 pixels. This is what I want. And then the search input now. Remember, we have the search input. Class of search input. I'm going to give it a width, and I'm going to give it a width, padding, and then border. Width. The width I want to give it a width of 500 pixels. After that, I'm going to give it a padding, and the padding I want to give it of 5 pixels. After giving the padding of 5 pixels, I'm going to give it some border, and then actually I'm going to strip off all the borders, and then I want to give it a border of none, and then I want to give it an outline. So the outline, like when you click on the input, that one it will text all the outline, the border from the outside. So I want to give it a none also, and then let me give it margin lastly, and then I'm going to give it a margin from top and bottom of 10. I want the margin to be top and bottom of 10 pixels, and then left and right to be 0. So if I save the file, come to our browser, let me just hit refresh. So you can see there's no a lot of changes. So this is what we did. But I'm expecting, okay, let me see if I actually make the right search input. This is our problem here. It is input. That's why we are not seeing it. Yeah. So this is the effect we want actually, and yeah, it is because we just missed the spelling of input, that's why. So this is what we want actually. So let's get into our CSS and design the titles. I'm going to give the class, call the class of title. Remember we have title there, class of title. Then I want to give it a font size. First thing is font size. So the font size I'm going to give it is going to be a very big font size of 50 pixels. And then I want to give it a padding. And then the padding is going to be of 5 pixels also. I want to give it a align item. Align item, we want to align it to the center. And then one margin. The margin is going to be from bottom. Margin from bottom. Let me just margin bottom of 30 pixels. 30 pixels like this. So after the margin, we want to give it a font weight. We want it to be bold. The font weight is going to be bold. And then I'm going to give it a color. And then the color code is going to be gray. So to get that color code, you just use DDD. So this is the color code I want to use. I'm seeing like there's no need for us to use my padding here. So I'm going to just save and then come back to our browser. So yeah, this is what we want, and it is actually looking amazing now though. So come back to our styling. Remember we have the class of subtitle. We want to apply some styling to our subtitle. So what kind of style do we want for our subtitle? We just want to give it a font size, at least to be big, and then want to give it a font weight. So let me give it a font size of 80 pixels, which is way bigger, like this. So if I just save the file and then come to our browser, then you see our subtitle is bigger than this one, our title. So this is what we want to achieve. Yeah, it is kind of the same. So the only thing is now the button. We want to give it some styling to the button. So get back to our CSS. Remember we give it the class of button search. Button.search. So what do we want to do? We want to give it a background color. The background color I'm going to give it is going to be this color code of 6B 9EE and then 0. So this is the color code we want to give it. This kind of blue or sky blue. I'm not good at colors though. Give it some padding of 10 pixels. Font size, I want to give it a font size of 16 pixels. Then I want to give it a border of none. Take all those borders out. None. Then I want to give it a cursor, the cursor to be pointer. And then color. The last thing is going to be our color. So the color is going to be of white. If I save this one and then come here, then you can see it is actually amazing though. But as you can see, we have a hover effect on this one, on the original one. So when we hover it, it's going to change the color, the background color. But here we don't have the hover effect. So let's put the hover effect on it. I'm just going to copy this one and then Shift and Alt down key. Then here I'm going to add the hover like this. This is the hover function or hover effect. So what I want to just give it, I want to give it the color is going to be the same, and then just take this one out, and then I want to give it just the background. The background color is going to be 07 1 and then B, then 3 6. So this is the hover effect we want. So when we come back, so you see we have now the hover effect. So I think this one is the same, yeah. So let's work now on our recommendation. As you can see, we have the recommendation here. We have to work on it now. Come to our HTML. Down here, I'm going to say recommendation section. Recommendation section. So I'm going to say select section, and then section with the class of recommended. I'm going to give it a class of recommended like this. Inside our recommended, we are going to give an article with a class of recommended title. That's title. If I can spell title like that, yeah. So I'm going to give it a text of recommended, yeah, recommended for you. After this article, I'm going to give an article with the class of recommends like this. So hit tab. Inside the recommends, I'm going to give an article with a class of recommend like that. So the difference here is the S. This one is recommends and this one is recommend. So inside the recommend, I have to put an image. Then the image is going to point toward this image of ours. All right. So this is what we want to put. And then I think it is okay for us to put a class name. Let me give you the class name. And then the class name is going to be of img does recommend like that. All right. our application is taking shape. So from there, we want that kind of logo, that upper logo. I'm going to give it class of recommend logo, or let me just give it a class of logos, small logo, or logo small, logo that's small. And then in our logo, I'm going to put the explore like this. So if I save the file and then come to our browser, you'll not see a lot here, but it's actually there. As you can see here, we have our text there, but our logo is kind of here very big, so our image. So let's play around in our CSS. The first thing is to write a comment for your CSS where you're going to start working with it. Okay, I'm going to say recommendation section. CSS. Okay. After that one, the first thing we want to take is the recommended. Take the class of recommended. Of recommended like this. And then give it a width and height. Just give it a width actually. I want to give it a width. And the width is going to be of 90%. And then let me give some margin. The margin is going to be 20 pixels from top and bottom, and then left and right is going to be auto, so that it will bring for us, it will center the recommendation. So I'm going to take the class of recommended and that's title. That's title. I'm going to give it a font size. Then the font size is going to be of 30 pixels. 30 pixels. And I'm going to give it a font weight of bold. Font weight of bold. After giving font weight of bold, I'm going to give it a color. So the color is going to be of kind of white, gray, and it is actually grays. That's the color. Alright. Get the class of recommends like this, and then give it a display of flex, and then justify. Actually, we don't want to justify everything, we want to just align it to the center, and then we want to give it a gap. So the gap we are going to give it is going to be 10 pixels. 10 pixels of gap. And then I'm going to give it a margin. The margin is going to start from top of 20 pixels, and then left and right to be 0 pixels. Alright. I'm going to take the class of recommend. It is now recommend, not recommends. So without the S. And then I'm going to give it a width of 200 pixels. I'm going to give it a height of 180 pixels. Then I want to give it a background color. The background color is going to be this color code. And then I want to give it a position of relative. Why we are giving this position of relative? Because in the image we are going to give it the logo, the small logo, the class of small logo. We are going to give it a position of absolute. So let's give the class of logo small. Logo dash small. And then in the logo small, I'm going to give it a font size first thing because we want the logo to be small, and then I'm going to give it a 15 pixels. I'm going to give it a color, and then the color is going to be of black. And then I want to give it a text transform to be uppercase. Text transform to be uppercase upper. Want to give it a font weight of bolder, font weight of bolder. Want to text decoration because I want the line to be there. Remember, it is the same logo we have, so it is going to be line through. Alright. Give some paddings, and then the padding is going to be 3 pixels in any side. So here we are going to give it position, and then the position is going to be of absolute because it is going to be the child of the recommend. So I want to start from the top of 0 pixels. Let it start from the top, and then from right of 10 pixels. Right of 10 pixels. Okay. Then from there, I just want to give it a background color. And then the background color, I'm going to give it a color code, which is FFFFFF, and then 8. This is the background color I want to give, like this. So if I save the file, actually it is not going to look nice because we want to give some, we have to first work on our image because our image is big in size. So remember, I give it a class of image recommend, like this. And then let me just give it a width. The width is going to be of 200 pixels, which is going to take the same width like the parent. And then the height also of 180 pixels. 180 pixels. And then object fit. Object fit is going to be of cover. So if I save the file, come back to our browser, and then hit refresh, so you can see our website is taking effect now, and it is of no difference with this one. So our website is taking effect. It is just a matter of now adding this one few more times. So for us to do that, we just come here in our HTML, just copy this line of code and then paste it like few more times. I'm going to paste 3 times so that you can see it is actually the same as this. So there's no difference. As you can see, I'm switching between these two and there's no difference. Yeah, so we are good to go now. So the next thing is we have to now work on our on our Spotify banner here, this one. So let's switch into our HTML so quick. And then what we want to do is to switch around now into our Spotify brand. So I'm going to give it a first comment here. I'm going to call Spotify brand, like this. Okay, so in the Spotify brand, I just want to give this one a section, and then the section is going to have the class of brand like this. Alright, and then inside the section I'm going to have article with the class of brand dash left dash side. Let me give it side, left side here. Inside the brand dash left side is we are going to have our image img like this. So it is going to call our image, and then this is the image I'm using here. Alright, So I think we don't need to put a class to this one. It is okay. And then here, after this, I'm going to give an article also. The article is going to have the class of brand right side. Brand dash right side. So in the brand right side, we want to show some text. So this text is going, let me just give it a title of, class of title is Spotify. Title is Spotify. Spotify, if I can spell like this. So what are we going to say? We are going to say get Spotify, and then it is music. This is the Spotify music here. So I'm going to call another article. In this article, I'm just not gonna give any class. And then what we want to do is let me just come here and then copy this text from here, because I don't want to type them from again and again, and then just paste it here. This is the text we want. And then after this text, I think we have a button. So the button is I'm going to give it a tag like that. So, but the button is going to have the class of Spotify. Let me come here and then give it a class, and then it's going to be Spotify. Oh, Spotify, if I can spell Spotify BTN, this is what I want. So I'm gonna say stream now. Stream now, like this. So this is what I want. And then if I come back to my development phase, so we have the image, we have the stream now text here, and then some of the text are here under it. So let's switch into our CSS and do some stylings on it. The first thing is for us to make a comment for our brand section. I'm going to say brand section CSS. This is the best practice actually to make a comment, because once, like after some times, you want to update your website, you just come and see where exactly things are. This is the way of organizing things in your website. Remember, we have the class of brand, and this brand I'm going to give it a display of flex. I'm going to align item to be in the center. I'm going to justify content to space between. Before justifying, because no, we don't want to justify it to space between, we want to just put it to the center too. So after putting it to the center, we want to switch around, want the direction to change to be row reverse. Want the text to be at the left side, and then at the right side want the image. I'm going to give it a width also, and then the width I'm going to give it of 90%. After giving the width of 90, so I have to make sure to give it a margin, and then the margin I'm going to start from top and bottom to 20 pixels left and right to be auto, and then I'm going to give it a background color. So the background color I'm going to give my favorite color, which is black here. And also my favorite color is black, so I'm going to put that color there. So give it a padding also. I want to give it a padding from top and bottom of 0 left and right to be 10 pixels, then give it a color. and then my color is going to be of gray like this is the color code. So if I come here, and you can see now it is now switching to switch the image to the right side and then the text to the left side. So let's give some styling to our text. First thing, let's target the Spotify button. Class of Spotify that's btn. This is what we call it in our HTML. Give it a display of block. Remember it is a tag, so we want to give it a display of block. Give it some padding, and then the padding is going to be of 10 pixels, I'm sorry, and then give it some margin from top of 10 pixels. I want to remove the borders from it. If there's any border, take the borders to be none, and then I want to give it a border radius, and then the border radius I'm going to give it a 50 pixels to be at least rounded. And then I'm going to give it a background color. The background color I'm going to give it of this color code, which is 3 D8 and then 6 E6. This is the color code. Oops, yeah. And then I'm going to give it a color. The color is going to be of white. Then I want to give it a width. I want the button to have a width of 200 pixels. And then I want the font size to be of 17 pixels. The font size of 17. Then I want to text align, the text to be in the center. If I save the file, come here and check, boom, it is now amazing. We have a beautiful button, so we have to play around with the text now. And remember, we have the class of Spotify title. Class of title Spotify. Title, that's Spotify. If I can spell Spotify, I don't know. Yeah, like this. So I want to give the text a font size, and then the font size I'm going to give it a very big font size, like 50 pixels. And then I want to align cell. Let it be in the center. Alright. So the margin, I want some margin from bottom. So I'm going to say margin bottom, and then the margin I'm going to give it something way big also, like 30 pixels. And then giving it a font weight of bold. And then after the font weight of bold, I want to give it a color now. So the color I want to give it is going to be of this color. So if I save the file, come here, so you see it is now getting it. So I think this is our designing part for the designing part for the Spotify. Yeah, so we are done with this one, and as you can see, there's no much different. Everything is kind of the same here. So after that, we want now our trending. Remember, in our trending, our trending is kind of similar. It is kind of similar to our recommended. As you can see here in the real one, this here, the trending is no difference with this one. So I'm just going to copy the same code for recommended, which is from here to here. So this is the code I want to copy, and then I'll just come in the bottom here. And then the first thing is just to put our comment and then say trending section like this. So after the trending section, I'm just going to paste this on and then change this on to be trending music. Trending music. So if I save the file and then come here, then you can see we have our trending music. It is simple, right? Yeah. So please, if this video is nice, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So let's continue. We remain with our footer. Our footer, which is this one. So let's wrap up this one footer, then we go to the other pages. All right. Let me come here and then give a comment and say footer section. Okay, in the footer section, I want to give it let me give the section. Suppose I want to give a footer, but I'm just going to put it in a section and then give it a class of footer like that. All right. So in the footer, then I'm going to say article with the class of left side. So this is the left side of the footer, and then I'm just going to copy this one, 1, 2, and then this one is going to be the center side like that, and then this one is going to be the right side like this. So it is kind of easy. So inside our left side, as you can see, we have in our end result, we have just a logo and some text. And remember, our logo, we have its code in a header here. So why not we just copy this? We copy it and then come and paste it here. So this is the first thing done. And then our text, I'm going to give it in an article also. And then the text, I'm just going to copy it from here like this. Copy it. Explore Music is a South Sudan music streaming site maintained and managed by Explore Company. So this is the text I just gave it, and then here I just want to give it some styles. And then the styles I'm going to give it, first thing is the color. I want to give it a color of, let me give it a color of RGB color, and then the color is going to be 211, and this is the country code of South Sudan. So 211, the country code of South Sudan is +211. Then from there I'm going to say 215. If I can, it's 215, and then I want to give it let me give it 219 here. Oops, 219 like this. If I save this one, come back to the end result, as you can see, here is our text, but it is kind of not looking okay, but we can sort that. We're gonna sort that. So here I don't want, because I want it to be at least larger in size, so I'm going to say logo footer, at least to give it the class name of logo footer, and then give it even some inline style. Let me just come here. I want to give it this. I'll just change the color code from here to here. Copy this and then come here, paste it here. So I'm going to just change the color code, this one to be 02, then this one is to be 03, and then this one is to be 04. Yeah, this is what I want. So after that, we want to give some, we have to manipulate the rest, which is the center. I want to give it a head too, and then in the header I want to give it a class name. The class name is going to be for footer heading. This is the class name I want to give it. Nice, right? So in this footer heading, I'm going to just give it a quick links, the text, which is quick links, and then in the quick links I'm going to say UL li, and then times 4. Let me say I want to give it times 4, and then a tag inside all the li. This is just a simple way of manipulating it so quick. And then in this one I'm going to say most followed artists, and then in the second one I'm just going to say latest musics. The third one I'm going to say hip hop. Hip hop is my favorite music genre, so I got to put it here, hip hop. And then after hip hop, then I'll go for Afro, because I love Afro beats like this. So this one is completed, and then let's just come to the next one and then put our, this is what I want also. I think I'm just going to copy everything from here. It is the same thing I want here, the same applies to this one, and then paste it here. Instead of this one, now I'm going to just change it to be what? I'm just going to change it to be support, like this, and I have a dot here. So in the support I have a help, I have F, Q and A. If I can type, if I don't know. Yeah, F, Q and A. Then we have privacy and policy. So, and here we have terms and conditions. Perfect. So application, our footer has taken place already. As you can see, we are done with the footer. Just let's switch into our styling, and then style our footer. So the first thing before we start doing anything is to target to make a comment and make us know that actually we are in the footer section. So this is the first important thing. Then after that we'll go for the rest. I have a class of footer. The class of footer, I'm going to give it a width, and then the width is going to go 100% if I can, and then give it a display of flex, give it a justify content of a space between. I don't know if my speed is so slow, and I don't mind because I'm trying to make it also for you to understand what I'm writing here. No, sometime to code while speaking it is kind of hard. So anyways, so I want to give it a gap, and then the gap is going to be of 10 pixels. If I save the file, so you can see we have a very nice background now here in our footer. So let's play around with it now. I want to target everyone, every left, right, and left side like this, and then give it a flex of 1. I want to target all of them and give them an equal size. I want to give them all equal size. So this one, instead of left, it is going to be off center now, and then this one is going to be right. Every container to have an equal size. So as you can see, they have now equal size, which is perfect. And then remember, we have our footer logo. We have to manipulate it to be different. So I'm going to say class of logo dash footer. This is how we name it. And then I'm going to give it a font size, and then it is going to be font size of 40 pixels, kind of big. And then I'm going to give it a color. The color is black, the color I want to give it. And then I want to give it a text transform. The text transform is going to be of uppercase actually, because it is going to be in capital letters. And then I'm going to give it a font weight of bold. Oh, let me give bolder. Yeah, bolder will be okay, kind of way big, big in size. Yeah, so let me set text decoration, and then remember our logo, the line is going through it, so we should not forget that. So I'm going to give it a margin from bottom, and then the margin from bottom I'm going to give it of 20 pixels to give some space from the bottom. Yeah, this is what we want. So let's target our footer header. Remember, we have that header, which is a quick links and all this. It is called footer heading, not header. I called it footer heading. So in our footer heading, we want to just give it some styling, like font size of 20. And then I want to give it color. Oops. If I can, let me give it a color. And then the color, I'm going to give it this color. And then I want to give it a text transform. And then the text transform, actually, I want to give it uppercase. Yeah. So I'm going to give it a font weight and margin from bottom. Font weight of bolder. Then I want to give it a margin from bottom. Margin from bottom of 10 pixels like this. So let me save the file and show you how it is now. So you see, it is now perfect. This is actually what we want, and our application is taking effect now. Yeah, it is kind of now near to this one, you see. So perfect. What do you want next? Remember, we have the links, the LIs and all those. I want to just text all the dots out from it. So for us to do that, I'm just going to, because they're in the center side and in the left side, so I'm going to say UL and then LI and then list style to be none. This is the first thing. and then I want to give it some padding from top and bottom. The padding from top and bottom, let me give it of 10 pixels, and then right on this one, right and left to be 0. So let me just copy this same code and then change it to be right, because we have also the same links in our right section. So if I save it and then come here, then it will remove for us the bullet points, but for some reasons it is not removing. Maybe we have missed something. I have this, so okay, this is the error. As you can see, we are calling UL, but here it is UI. It is going to be UL like this, so sorry for that. So from here now it will work, and then as you can see we have some spaces now, which is perfect, right? Okay, so let's see here. This one the color is white, but this one the color here is kind of gray. But anyways, these are just colors, and I think this one marks the end of this page, and we actually designed it similar to it. Is actually the same page. Actually it is the same exactly page, and as you can see, if you watch this video with me, you already know how to do that. So let me catch you guys in, let's start and create our new files for all page and dashboard. Let's work on that. All right, see you.